the forces are not making any kind of effect on business environment, then we say that the forces are not applicable to the surrounding of business environment. Now, while we're talking about business environment actually broadly divided into two different portions. One is, the environment is micro environment and macro environment, right? So business environment is broadly divided into two parts. Okay, just a minute. I'll need to share my screen. Yeah, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am, visible.
Okay, thank you. So while we're talking about business environment is divided into two different portions. One is called micro environment or micro business environment and macro business environment. Now, what consists of micro business environment? Micro business environment, why it is called micro? It is called micro because it is not there in the slide. I'm slide विषय पढ़िबा कली मो एठी छाडी थी, that's why I was I'm taking this slide into the class तापरे हमें आगो को बढ़िबा. But before that, try to understand what is micro environment, macro business environment, macro business environment. Now, micro business environment, while we're talking about the factor is micro is somehow controllable. Now, one has to think about what are the factors that in a business environment that is being highly controlled by the business organization. So, कौन हितव से factors गुड़ाक जो गुड़ा की controllable factors. So, controllable factors रे आसिबो कौन? First one is market size. So, it was somehow it was controllable factor. Secondary कौन आसिबो? After this market size, we have market intermediations or intermediaries who plays very vital role for the business environment, and it is also kind of a factor which is highly controllable. Then we have supply chain. Yes, supply chain also being controlled by the business environment, so it is under the controllable factors. We have consumers and demand and competition. These some factors which are highly controllable in nature. Fine. Now, while we're talking about why these factors are considered as the controllable factor, because somehow business organization, these factors are not making huge impact, positive or negative impact on the business environment. Fine. So now, while we're talking about first factor, which is called market size. Now, what do you understood by market size? While we're talking about the business environment is divided into two parts. One is micro environment, one is macro environment. Micro environment under it कौन factors asila? Now, micro environment under it factors asila like market size, we have intermediations, we have competitions, we have supply chain, we have customers. So isu asila कौन ना micro environment under it asila. Now, micro environment under the first factor को जिबा, the first factor is market size. Now, what do you understood by market size? Market size means the business activity which is performed by the business organization. But a particular area re अपन को product demand कौन, and if it is going on, it is यदि बढ़ुची, then we say that the market size increases. जदि से particular जगह रे अपन को product demand कमुची, then we say that market size decreases. So it was easily controlled by the business organization. If you are looking forward to expand your business, expand your market size, then you have to think about the पर्सनलाइज मार्केटिंग आपण कहंतु और आपण कहंतु रिटेल डिस्प्ले कहंतु these are some of the factors through which you could able to or ASO factor help nele you could able to expand your business or expand your market size. Second is like intermediation. Now what do you understood by intermediation? Intermediation are those people who will help you to grow in the market. That means these are the channel who are connecting customer to the market. Customer को market से तो क्या connect होची? If I give one particular example like a stock exchange, so every person like तमे मो हमें जेमती बहुत लोग अछंती, those do not have exact information about the day trading system, bold system, IPO system. समस्ते सब विषय जानी ना So these intermediations give you information. This intermediation help the customer to connect himself to the market. These intermediation help the customers to create market. This intermediation sometimes help the customer to buying and selling process. So intermediation also somehow it was controllable factor under SOG. Third, we talk about the competition. Jadi tamar mano thibo mo tamar marketing padhini. Okay, we have different type of competition in the market. Ame bahut prakar competition dekhuchu. Jemti ki brand competition, product form competition. We have generic competition. Generic competition कौन? Generic competition are kind of a competition which is revolving around the day-to-day products. That means सकाळु उठिले तमरो जहा भी product दरकार पड़ची राति रे सोइला पर्यंत तादरे जो competitions आसुची that is called generic competition, which is very obvious competition like सकाळु उठिले तमरो first you required a toothpaste or brush तापे कितने different products available रहउची market रे which have a immense number of competition amongst themselves. So that was called generic competition. Then came product form competition. Formation of product also makes a competition amongst the market. If I'm talking about one particular example of a car, so we have car like 4-seater, we have 6-seater, 8-seater, more than that like 12-seaters. That means what? That is a particular form of product, and every particular car making company, every particular four-wheeler making company try to create this kind of product which makes itself tar product ro gote kon rochi na competition rochi. That was called product form competition. Then we have one more kind of competition that was called brand competition. And I think we all very much aware about the brand competition. I mean, समझते brand competition विषय काफी aware, and the brand competition is all about the competition of different producing companies जो माने different product बनाउचंदी जो companies माने जेतले कोनोसी competition होची amongst themselves. So that was called brand competition. Okay, so that was what we call the internal environment or controllable environment. One more environment was there that was called uncontrollable environment or external environment. Now, while we're talking about the external environment, there are 6 different type of environment we have in the external portion. And why it is called external environment? It is called external environment because it is highly uncontrollable. So this kind of environment which is external to the business environment, these are highly uncontrollable. One cannot able to control the environment. So this is called external environment, and the external environment are of 6 types in business environment. I mean, business environment. Yes, I know the it was not visible. Mu seitar upare hi kamo karuchi mu because I'm also being surprised कि मो लैपटॉप टा कहीं की प्राय टाइम सपोर्ट करूनी मोर इंटरनेट कनेक्शन को कटि जाउची कनेक्ट होउची कटुची कनेक्ट होउची कटुची मे बी बिकॉज ऑफ वेदर और आई डोंट नो मो ट्राई करूची आउथरे कनेक्ट करिया को ओके So external environment consists of 6 different type of environments in India. ताको हमें if you remember last time sir BPSM पढ़ी थिले, जे तमनको मन थिबो sir definitely talk about the pustule analysis or paste analysis. So external environment कौन, then we'll came to the pustule analysis. External environment consists of 6 different kind of forces and factors which are highly uncontrollable in nature. कौन आसुची से 6 different environment रे? 6 different environments रे आसुची. First one is called your economic environment. Yes, Pistol. It is economic environment. We have political environment. We have socio-cultural environment, legal environment, physical environment. We have demographic environment and international technological environment and international environment. These are the external environment, which are called the highly uncontrolled environment in India. In business environment. Now the question is, why these are very highly uncontrollable? Because while we're talking about any political decision came in the political environment, some people very eagerly wants to adopt that policies, rules, regulation, and they thought the policy, rule, regulation are for the people. Some people do not able to adopt that policies, rules, regulation. They thought that the policy, rules, regulation are faulty, so we could not able to use it. So it depends upon people, person to person. And जदि हमें इंडिया रो पॉलिटिकल एनवायरनमेंट देखिबा, जेतेबेले भी हमर पॉलिटिकल चेंजेस होची, जेतेबेले भी नवा सरकार आसुचंदी, इफ दी पुराना सरकार चेंज होचंदी, आपण निजे भी देखिचंदी, there are some particular business organizations who are being benefited, there are some business organizations who are being not benefited. That means political environment support jahaku rahuchi, jo organizations rahuchi, they are being benefited and others are not. So despite of going to that debate, but this is what we call, it is highly uncontrollable. Those business organizations who are not getting support from the political environment, they must be facing various kind of issues and challenges to survive, or for the survival factors, or if someone is having the support of political environment, then it was a very good smooth path being created by the political environment where the organization, the business environment moves on. Same thing with economic environment. While economic, there are different kind of economic policies, economic system, economic rules, regulations. It is being imparted by the government of India, and sometimes it is favorable to the business environment. Sometimes it is favorable to the priority sector like individual people. So, whatever legal system, economic system we have, one has to follow that. So, if I'm talking about the socio-cultural environment, yes, India have a variety of cultural people we have in India, variety of social people we have in India, and their buying behavior, their culture, their thinking process, everything affects the business environment. More or less, it is also highly uncontrollable. Then came to the demographic environment. Now, the population of India, it is something like more than 130 crores. It is one of the most populated country in the world is India. And that's why we always fighting in terms of demand and supply. That means demand is very high in comparison to supply, and we always fighting for that. So that is, we all know, and because of that, we normally see that the food products, vegetable products, day-to-day jo commodity upon use koruchonti, everything is going on in terms of price. One more environment was there, which is also very highly uncontrollable. That was called your environment of technology. Ajika date, if you see the technological environment, it was moving very fast, and this dynamism, ame kuchu technological environment ro sabto best portion hela kono tara dynamism, ever changing. But remember, it is also very crucial portion for the individual people, companies, organizations to cope up with the changing environment. Jadi prati 6 mas prati barsare software change habo, प्रति 6 मास प्रति वर्ष रे टेक्नोलॉजिकल effectiveness रे बहुत increase आसीबो. So it is very difficult to give training to the employees. आपण employees मान को trained करिया बहुत difficult ही जीवो. आपण प्रति 6 मास रे थरे तो employee training system बने परिबे नहीं ना. So that was highly costly for you. So that's why technological environment, which is adopted as the best, best, because it is ever moving, ever changing. But ସେଇଠି ଆମେ କହୁଛୁ technological environment ର ସବୁଠୁ ବଡ଼ demerit ହେଲା କଣ? Yes, it is ever changing, and because of that ever changing concept, technological environment are unable to cope up, or the business environment is unable to cope up. Right? So this is what called the micro and macro environment. In the last class, we'll have a discussion. Amar ote discussion dila chaltiya kaha upare. The discussion is on the different factors which affect economic environment. Visare me podutulu different factors that affect the economic environment. Okay. So connect the heichi puni. I'll try to show my PPT. Okay. Is it now visible, Philamene?
Yes, madam.
I have told you this is what the microeconomical environment may consist of these factors: market size, demand, supply, competitors, distribution channel. Now came to the characteristics of business. I'm not going to elaborate this. The characteristics of business is something which is called as environment is very complex in nature. That means business environment ago galani na. Actually बहुत problem होची internet रो. I didn't even understood कि कौन issues रोचे. I'll try. Okay. Okay. So the characteristics of business environment is something which is called the business environment is very much complex in nature. Now, why it is complex? Anyone? The business environment, there is a statement saying that business environment is very much complex in nature. Can you tell me why it is called a complex? Anyone? Why business environment is called as complex in nature?
You can't predict it.
Yes.
Ma'am, actually, we cannot predict the business environment, the what effect and how the rate of changes. We cannot predict previously. So, if we cannot predict, so we cannot prepare as a company or as an organization to achieve or to mitigate the problem. So, the effect of the micro and macro environment will be very much non-predictable. So, in my opinion, that's why.
Okay, fine. Now is it visible? Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
okay, fine. Sorry, I'm sharing from my mobile phone. Okay, fine. So, says business environment is complex in nature. Now, why it is complex in nature, or why it is called as a complex? Because business environment is somehow suppressed by the economic environment, it's suppressed by the political environment, it's suppressed by the socio-cultural environment and other factors. And whatever changes are we seen in the in the normal environment, that is being somehow it is give a kind of a reflection in the business environment. Something like our Pradhan Mantri, no who, but just for an example, our Pradhan Mantri is hospitalized, and immediately you see that your stock exchange falling down. So there is no connection between this Pradhan Mantri is hospitalized because of he has a pain in the hand or leg, but immediately you see the stock exchange is falling down. Why? Because there is a speculation. Maybe Pradhan Mantri will not able to take the decisions for the next 5 days. Not taking any kind of decision, political, financial, economical decision for next 5 days. That's why the stock exchange was falling down. So ଆମେ କଣ କହୁଛୁ ନା ଯୋଉ sensitivity ଅଛି market ro, that's why, and because of that sensitivity, the market is completely complex. The business environment is completely complex in nature. Second nature है business environment is highly dynamic. Now, what do you understood by dynamic? Dynamic word means it is changing. So every day you see the business environment or the people, the business organization, they are adopting new strategies to sell the product. They are adopting new strategies to display their products. They are adopting new strategies to make comfortable or create comfortable product for the people. ମୁଁ ଏବେ ହଠାତ୍ କି ଗୋଟେ ଦିନ ଦେଖିଲି ଗୋଟେ advertisement ଆସୁଛି, there is a brush for the small kids which is shaped like a ଆପଣଙ୍କ ଦାନ୍ତର shape ଯେମିତି half curve, ସେମିତି half curve ର ଗୋଟେ brush ଆସୁଛି. ଛୋଟ ଛୁଆଙ୍କୁ brush କରିବା ବହୁତ difficult, ପାଇଁ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଠିଆ କର, ତାଙ୍କୁ brush କରାଅ. Now that half curve କୁ କଣ କରିବେ ଆପଣ, ଥରେ ଭିତରକୁ ନେବେ, and that was called electronical brush which is auto vibrate ହବ. ଆପଣ କେବଳ ନେବେ ଦାନ୍ତ ପାଖରେ ଲଗେଇବେ, ସେ auto vibrate ହବ. And ଯେମିତି ଡକ୍ଟର ଆମକୁ କୁହେ କି upward and downward direction ରେ ଦାନ୍ତ ଘଷନ୍ତୁ, ସେଟା vibrate ହବ and automatically ଆପଣଙ୍କ ଦାନ୍ତ clean ହେଇଯିବ. Got it? So that is what we call the dynamism about the products and services. ଯେତେ ଆପଣ ନୂଆ dynamic product ବନେଇବେ, ତିଆରି କରିବେ, ଲୋକ ସେତେ ଅଧିକା କିଣିବେ, and your market ରେ ଆପଣଙ୍କ product ବିକ୍ରି ହବ, and your business environment is become, or sorry, business organization has become the market leader in some very short span of time. Then business environment is also called as a multi-facet. Its phases are very huge. That means they are creating different kind of activity at a similar time period. ଯେମିତି ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ bank ଦେଖୁନୁ, bank ରେ every person knows every activity. That was called multitasking. ସେମିତି ଗୋଟେ business environment is actually a multi-facet. So they are having different activities and large number of different activities got a similar time re korchundi. That's why one of the nature of business environment, it is multifaceted nature. Next one is environment has a far reaching impact. So any environment, any business environment always try to make a far reaching impact. Means what? While someone is starting a business, तार दीटा objective थाए. कौन ना business start करियर first objective कौन? To earn profit. Am I correct? ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆପଣ କୌଣସି business start କରୁଛନ୍ତି, startup ନଉଛନ୍ତି, ଗୋଟେ ଛୋଟ business start କରୁଛନ୍ତି, your first and foremost motive is to earn profit. Second motive कौन? Sustainability. Yes, the second motive is कि ମୁଁ बहुत short span of time ପାଇଁ कि ଗୋଟେ market रे ରହିବିନି. I'll have to stay in the market for a longer time period. Then I could able to create my own market shares. I could able to create my own business. ମୁଁ ମୋର subsidiary business start କରିବି, and this in that way, from the domestic level, I could able to go to the national level. From national level, I am able to go to the international system, and from international to global. That is what far-reaching impact of any business environment. And ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆପଣ business environment ଦେଖୁଛନ୍ତି, ଏଇଟା ଗୋଟେ basic ideology ଥାଏ କୌଣସି business environment ର. I have already told you what is macroeconomic environment. Just ଆପଣ ଦେଖି ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ in the slide. So there are 6 different environment, which is called economic environment, political and government environment, socio-cultural environment, natural environment, demographical environment, technological environment, and international environment. Remember, this is called macro environment, and these are some of the components of macro environment. And I am saying again and again, these are highly uncontrollable in nature. It is impossible to control these factors by the business environment. One by one, try to understand all these 6 different kind of macro environment. First one is called economic environment, which is influenced by the following factors. Con factors rochi, that was economic condition of the country, economic system, economic policies, economic growth, interest rate, currency exchange rates, So these things influence the economic environment at a large extent. One by one, try to understand the factors. First one is called economic condition of the country. Anyone, if you can explain what is the current economic condition of our country? Anyone? What is the current economic condition of our country?
Now it is the fifth largest economy in world.
Okay. Yes, it is the largest economy of the world. Why it is largest, Jia? Because mo tamo na bhi dekhi parni. So that's why. So why it is largest? It is largest in terms of earning. It is largest in terms of product production. It is largest in terms of product variety. It is largest in terms of number of buyers. Both it are largest. Can you please explain?
Ma'am,
Whatever you say, that is
as
absolutely correct. Yes, please.
ma'am, GDP द्वारा
GDP द्वारा it is the largest economy. No, I'm not. I'm not favoring your answer. GDP is always in Indian GDP. ଯେମିତି କି last ଯଦି ଆପଣ news ରେ ବି ଦେଖିଥିବେ last 20 years ର ସବୁଠୁ ଖରାପ situation ଚାଲିଛି Indian economy ରେ ଅବିକା. The inflation is bad inflation. GDP is suffering. So ମୁଁ ଭାବୁନି largest economy in terms of GDP ହେଇପାରେ. Anyone else?
Market size, ma'am.
Very good, market size. It is absolutely correct, but you have to explain me how. How it is market size? Whatever you say, that was absolutely correct. Market size.
Ma'am, can you say that per capita income is
The market
increasing?
size ये कहूतिले से ठीक ही कहूतिले, but मते टिके खाली explain करंतो how.
Ma'am, per capita income will be increased, so that's why.
Market size रे per capita income increase, but एबे तो per
Ma'am?
capita income increase करूनी. National income increase करची अपन कोई परिवे. And ମୁଁ କହିବି yes, national income increase କରୁଛି, but କ'ଣ per capita income increase କରୁଛି କି? Maybe no.
Ma'am, industrial development market हमरो industry development ପାଇଁ ହେଇ ପାରିବ?
Industrial development, okay, fine. Industrial development ଆପଣ କହିପାରିବେ, but ଯିଏ ବି କହିଥିଲେ market size, I would say it is actually a very good point. Market size actually a point through which we could say that our economy is the largest economy in the world. India is one country where we are having more than 30,000 different brands. More than 30,000 different brands, which is you can't see any other country where they are having more than 30,000, different type of brands. India re khali branded product to nahi, India re non-branded products bhi achi. And if you see all together, the statistics says that it is around more than 50,000 different type of products available in the market. Different type of products, maybe substitute, non-substitute, ideal, non-ideal, केमिति भी product है तो active, proactive, but more than 50,000 different type of products available in the Indian market. For the it will facilitate. एटा कहा को facilitate कोची ना Indian economy के facilitate कोची. सही हिसाब रे अपन कहि परबे that Indian economy is actually the largest economy in the world. ता छोड़ा because the population of India is very high. And as I have already told you in yesterday class that Indian economy is actually and possibly dependent upon the few number of people who have the maximum concentration of money in their hand. And सेटा India रे 2 to 3%, but से लोगों को पाकर पैसा रो मात्रा बहुत अधिक है. Their monetary power is very high, and that is also a kind of आपण कहि परिबे कि factor which attached to the statement that yes, Indian economy is the largest economy. आ छड़ा कोन आछी India is the founder member of WTO, World Trade Organization, and also the founder member of the World Bank. That's why the contribution of Indian economy to the world and international platform, the Indian economy contribution बहुत अधिक है. That is how, and यदि आपण Indian Stock Exchange कथा देखुचंती, the BSE is acclaimed as the oldest stock exchange in the Asia. Fine. And जदि आपण देखुचंती NSE कथा, NSE in terms of market capitalization it is the topmost in the Asia. तो Asia रे जिते country अछि सबुथरो जदि आपण oldest stock exchange देखुचन, that is BSE. And जदि आपण market capitalization means कोच everyday trading हिसाब रे देखुचंती, then NSE stood in the top position. So in that way is a point को जदि आपण नौचंती, yes, we can say that Indian economy is one of the largest economy. But जेतेला ଆମେ GDP कथा कहूचो, because the population is very high, GDP is somehow uncontrollable, we say in terms of negative. Then inflation, yes, individual product inflation is very bad. But आपण जदि किछि product को देखुचंती ता inflation बहुत भलो, जेमति कि electronical products. Electronical products India electronical products value बहुत बहुत दाम बढ़े नी, rate बढ़े नी, और inflation को हमें good inflation कहूचो. But the saddest part is maximum the products which is available in Indian market in the electronical products, that was maybe made by China or Japan. Fine, it was not made by India. That's why they are being benefited, we are not benefited. And India is called as the agricultural country, but only 28% population in the today's scenario re matra 28% लोक भारत रो जो माने कि agricultural and farming business रे involve अछंती, अन्य माने involve नाहंती. So this is what we called the Indian economy, the condition of economic condition of India. It is degrading. It is degrading, but the government of India बहुत चेष्टा करछि ताकू गोटे particular stable condition को आनिया को. But तार major drawback रहुछि कोन? First drawback हैला the population which is very high. That was the first drawback. Second drawback हैला kind of a market we have. In India we still have a monopoly market. We are not having a proper and perfect competition. So these are the factors which affect the economic condition at a large extent. That choda political support to a particular company. Aji even we have a regular class and more our discussion bhi houtila se class re that still we all know that Mr. Modi government is completely supporting to the Reliance Group, Mukesh Ambani. But still the Adani Group represent India's topmost successful businessman for this year. Right? So economic condition re गोटे political involvement भी रहुची, जोटा पाइन कि भी हमें बहुत suffer करची, India suffer करची. Then came to economic system. Now what do you understood by economic system? Economic system means those kind of rules regulation which is being created to facilitate the business environment. Sometimes it is favorable, sometimes it is unfavorable. If this economic system is favorable to the business environment, then definitely it will create the market. Jodi it develop koruni, economic support koruni, sir business environment ko support koruni, then the economical conditions and economical systems are being falling down. Then economic policies, jemti ki apano nei jantu apanଙ୍କର Companies Act 2013. So ajika date re bhi Companies Act 2013 ro sabu jaka act activation condition re nahi. 2013 ro, now it is 2022, it is still changing. So the policies which is came, sometimes it will favorable, sometimes not. And if economic condition system policies are favorable, then economic growth you can see. If not, setile apon economic growth dekhi paribeni. Next one is interest rate. In India, we are having a very unfortunate interest rate. Mo kahingi unfortunate koili ki koi paribe? Unfortunate interest rate means what? In India, we have the RBI system, SEBI system, we have IRDA of India system. आपण तीनटा का system रो आजिका date रो interest rate नहीं जानतो, जोटी की interest rate of all loans are very high, all deposits are very low in RBI. Ajika date re apan stock market dekhantu, stock market is not going on and on and on. It was apanku besi besi benefit doni. Even in jodi apan investment korchundi in IRDA of India, I always says that IRDA of India or insurance investment is not a investment, it is only a financial planning, right? So ajika date re, if you see the interest rates, yes, it is suffering because of various reasons. And the last one is currency exchange rate. Eta ko to chhadantu, apanka Indian economy ro amar jaha obastha, dollar is somehow very similar to 80, 81, 82, sometimes 85. So जदि आमे डॉलर रे आमे चिंता करछु तले बड़ सिंपल वर्ड रे कहिया गले, we are 85 times poorer than that countries who have use dollar as the currency, right? हाथ रे गणी देले कंट्री आपन को किछिटा मिलिबो जोटा कि इंडियन करेंसी संगे आइदर समान और इंडियन करेंसी जो टिके कम, जेमति कि आपन नै जानतो बांग्लादेश, श्रीलंका, we have and this time right now from the last 1 month, if you have the information, the South Korean financial system is suffering, and South Korea ro paisa ebe fall down करछि, माने इंडिया रे टंका टा तंकर हे जायछि 70 पैसा, माने आमे तंकर टिके हाई पोजीशन रे अछु in currency. So the currency exchange rate also gives you information about the economic system. यदि आपण currency exchange rate को भी देखिबे ताले भी आपण economic system विषय जानि परिबे. Then came to the next environment, that was called political and legal environment. Political and legal environment is actually of three types. गोटे हला कोन ना legislature जो माने कि जो माने कि create करंती laws, rules, regulation, executive जो माने कि implement करंती, judiciary जो माने कि control करंती. So the legal and political environment जदि आपण इंडिया रे कहबे तीनटा फेज रे काम करे. गोटे फेज हला जो माने क्रिएट करंती पॉलिसीज, executions माने जो माने implement करंती पॉलिसीज को, judiciary system who is try to control the policies in the business environment. Came to the next one, socio-cultural environment. Socio-cultural environment broadly dependent upon the individual buying behavior within a society. Ame jemti ame kon kinuchu, fine, amar individual buying decisions. If I'm talking about jati gender को नहीं कि अपन कहउचंदी घरे गोटे झियो अछि एंड हठात से ओएस पाई गला, तार ऑल फाइनेंशियल डिसीजंस आर टेकन बाय आइदर her father initial point रे or her husband. So eta भी गोटे प्रकार factor which create a large difference in the business environment. Who is taking the decision of investment, who is actually buyer of the product. In Indian social environment रे जदि आपण कहिबे, here the buyers are the male persons, are not the female person. But आपण मार्केट रे झियो मानको देखिबे, फाइन, मार्केट रे जने किनिया को जाउची, she is a lady, but ता पछरे जो decisions गुडा अछि that was been taken by the male person. Still we have group buying decisions within the society. See जदि सेटा किनला मूवी से किनिबे, we are influenced by the people, we are influenced by the group, and buying behavior also influenced by the particular group of people. जेमति कि काली जेतले आपण पेपर रे बाहरची टेलमा 20 or something like medicines गुडा को कोन हिची ना कोन से medicines गुडा को duplicacy आसुची. So हठात कि my mother says that say टेलमा 20 खाई तार बीपी प्रॉब्लम अछि, हठात कि मते कहला कि तू नेक्स्ट टाइम तो टेलमा 20 and 20 आनिबनी. म कहल ताले कोन आनिबी ना डॉक्टर को पचरे अलगा कोन गोटे मेडिसिन ने. म कहले बहुत आटो बेटर हला तू साग सिझी किना खाई दे. कना आज का डेट रे you can't give 100% assurance that ता बदल रे जो मेडिसिन टानी वो सेटा ठीक अछि. So this is what we say the group buying decision. किछि गोटे न्यूज़ आसिला हमें सेटा को भाबी कि हमरो बाइंग रो जो एक्टिविटीज अछि ताको चेंज करछु. People's attitude, yes, some people's attitude change according to the environment, according to the behavior, according to the situations and all. जदि मन नथिबे गुडा सब ओबी रे तमरो पढा हितला. Role of family, marriage, religion, education also influence the business environment. Ethical issues in the country. आरो गोटे बेसिक एग्जांपल कोन कहला, तमरो जेतले लॉकडाउन चलतले जेते से जो बैंड वाला थिले, जेते से मंडप वाला थिले, जेते तमर सिंगर्स थिले जो माने आपनकर वेडिंग प्लानर थिले सेमानक सब इनकम जीरो हो जाइतिला. So that is called social environment, which make an impact on business environment. Ethical issues in the country, yes, if there is some ethical issues, that is also reflected in the business environment. And social responsibility. I mean, the social responsibility unit natural environment completely depends upon the kind of natural resources we have, different type of wealth and climatical condition, topological factor and location factor. These are a part of natural environment. In Odisha, Odisha, we consider Odisha as a state which is completely based on the farming. But देखो ए वर्ष farming रो अवस्था कौन जो टाइम रे धान अमल हबा कथा, still it is continuing वर्षा from last 3 or 4 months along. Fine. And if this is going on, then definitely the crop price, the vegetable prices, the grain prices, everything is going to be increased. Fine. So that was called natural environment, which is completely dependent upon the natural resources, climatical condition, topological factors, and location aspects. Now, what do you understood by demographic environment? Demographic environment is basically based on the population. If the population is going on, then you could not able to survive for the could not you actually economic condition actually survive for the good GDP. Fine. ସେଥିପାଇଁ कि आजिका डेट रे जो कंट्री रे पॉपुलेशन बहुत अधिका मु जस्ट गोटे मास पूर्व बोधे गोटे आर्टिकल पढुतिली वेयर in China around 25% population does not want to have their own child. Samane marriage करूचंदी but samane child चाहुनांती because they thought if they could have a child, they might be have a child, and that child first say population blast habo, second hela तांकर जो एक्टिविटीज रहउची तांकर जो वर्क कल्चर रहउची सेरा चेंज कर दबो. So in that way also it is completely controlled. ता छडा डेमोग्राफिक एनवायरनमेंट को कंट्रोल करे आउ कोन बाट अछि ना आपण जदी डेमोग्राफिक एनवायरनमेंट रु गोटे स्ट्रिक्ट रेगुलेशन पकेबे. Strict regulation like in China, if you have more than one child, you are being punished. You may be in a jail. So एमिते जदी आपण कोनोसी रूल्स रेगुलेशन इंडिया रे आनिबे ताले मे बी इंडिया रे भी population somehow it is going to be controlled. Now came to technological environment. Technological environment is very good, but there are सबुठ बड़ loopholes और सबुठ बड़ lacuna है its dynamism. And India like country रे it is hardly possible to control the dynamism of the technical environment because you cannot afford a huge amount of money to make an expenditure for the constant learning of the softwares. So the rapid change of technical environment is good, but somehow it is very costly for the business environment. That's why it is highly uncontrollable. Then we move to the next portion of your syllabus that जेतला मैं business environment को देखुछु पढुछु, we say that there are some particular strategies which try to control the business environment. कौन strategies अच्छी जहाँ through रे अपन business environment को control कर परिबे? There are 3 different strategies. We have POTUS model, we have SWOT analysis, and we have pestle analysis or pest analysis. And I believe tinta jaka analysis tomoro BPSM re padha haichi. Anyone can please explain what is POTUS model? What is POTUS model? Are pilamane am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tomoro BPSM re padha haitila. What is POTUS model? Tomoro question re bi astila. What is POTUS model? Now, movie pacharchu, what is POTUS model? I'm not asking about exact definition. Why POTUS model? जितला मैं analysis कथा कोचु, SWOT analysis कथा कोचु, pest analysis कथा कोचु, POTUS model कथा कोचु. जति अपन business environment कथा देखिबे, POTUS model is one particular model which is highly used by the business environment to solve the challenges and issues of the business environment. Michael Porter is one of the business analysts who identifies 5 different forces or factors which affect the business environment at the time of penetrating the product into the market. Michael Porter is one of the most popular business analysis or business scientist who identifies 5 different forces. See कहले कि जेतरा आपण market रे entry करूचंती, while you are penetrating your product into the market, you have to face 5 different forces, 5 different challenges. कौन ना जेतरा आपण entry करूचंती सबले मन रखथांतु जेमति कि marketing रे हमें कहूचु product life cycle. Introduction stage is the most crucial part of any business. आपण जेतले entry करूचंती आपण MBA पाठ पढिले आपण को first examination is the most crucial examination. सेमते हमें कहूचु product जेतले market रे entry करूचु penetrate होउची, that is the most crucial portion. And say crucial portion रे what are the challenges a company or business or organization has to face. That was these 5 जे तमे देखुथिबो तमरो slide रे, these are the 5 different challenges. Challenge number 1, you must have competitive rivalry while you are entering your product into market. The reason है कौन, just अपन को 5-10 मिनट पूर्व जने मैडम कहथिले कि the Indian economy रो best portion है कौन, it is one of the largest economy of the world. And while I'm talking about this, the same thing, more than 50,000 different type of products are available roiler, then definitely while you are entering to the market, you find out large number of rivalry. What else was there? Threats of new entrants. Mu jetale product entry hochi market bhitru, similar type of pasta product bhi market bhitru entry hochi, that's called threats of new entrants. Buyers power and suppliers power. Now what kind of power this is? This is called bargaining power. Bargaining power of buyers and bargaining power of the suppliers also kind of a challenge. जेमति कि buyer आमे तमे सबले कोन भाबु कि किछि discount मिलि जिवो कि किछि offer मिलि जिवो कि fine को पटे मते टी पैसा कम दबा को पड़िबो. This is what called the buyers power or bargaining power. And जेतले कोटे नुवा product market रे entry होची सेतेबेले जेते कम पैसा रे आपण offer न करूचंती लोक किनिबेनी. Suppliers power, suppliers कहबो मो inventory देबिनी, fine wholesaler कहबो मो तम product बिकिबिनी, then how to sell your product? It is actually a challenge. And the last one is threats of substitute product. Ajika date while a customer goes and asks for a product and the product is unavailable, the customer kon feriki poli aschi nahi, se pacharchi are substitute product de de mate. So that is also biggest threat in the market, which is called the availability of the substitute product. Now Porter says that if someone identified these 5 factors, then he could able to easily enter to the market. That is called Porter's model. One more model was there in the business environmental analysis, that was called SWOT analysis. I think SWOT analysis SWOT analysis is the analysis of the internal and external environment both, where S and W stands for the internal environmental factors and OT stands for the external environmental factors. S strength is very positive in nature and internal in terms of nature, where weaknesses are the internal but very negative in nature. The factors opportunities are positive but external factors, and threats are the negative external factors. Now, if any company wants to grow, he has to identify its own strength, own weaknesses, and through strength, he could able to change the opportunities into profit. And if once you identify this is what my negative weaknesses are, and because of that weaknesses, all kind of opportunities which is available in the market, more finds it a threat. So that was called SWOT analysis. Lastly, we have third type of analysis, that was called PEST analysis. Remember, PEST analysis is completely external environmental analysis, where 4 basic factors needs to be analyzed to cope off in the international market. That was called political environmental analysis, economical environmental analysis, social environmental analysis, and technological environmental analysis. So the environment analyze then you could able to go to the international market. Okay, then If you have any question, please ask me. Yes, anyone, if you have any question, please ask me. No questions? Okay, then we will wind up the class.
Madam, one question from my side.
Please. Please.
Uh, as we are discussing the micro and macro environment, basically in a company, it is necessary to analysis the both environment, because at a point the micro environment can be a macro environment. Is it so, or like this when we're classifying the micro and macro environment, it's already
Vikash,
yes,
answers to know. While we're talking about analysis of analysis with a micro macro environment को अपन analysis करी परिबे नहीं. Analysis अपन कौन करिवे? अपन SWOT analysis करिवे. One has to identify its own strength, weaknesses of the organization I'm talking about. Good organization strength, weaknesses, अपन opportunities and threats को analysis करी परिबे to control it. But जितना अपन micro and macro environment को कहउचंदी, micro environment is controllable. जेमती कि market size. If you do not want to expand your market size in Bhubaneswar, then there is no need to making any effort for that. And if you want to increase your business in Delhi, so you have to make effort for that. You know, in Delhi, you have to plan some very exciting marketing activities. You have to identify some best business intermediaries. जहाँ through रे तमे निजा जिनसे टको दिल्ली रे बिके कि market size टा बढ़ेबो. एबे बुझी पड़छो इंटरनल एनवायरनमेंट हला कोन ना ताको आपण एनालिसिस केते बेले करिवे जेते बेले आपनकर दरकार अछि जेते बेले सी किछ अनकंट्रोलेबल एक्टिविटीज को जाउची जेमति कि गोटे ट्रांसपोर्टेशन नै जानू आपण रॉ मटेरियल्स मगौचंदी ट्रांसपोर्टेशन होउची आपण गोटे बजेट करचन दैट इज 3 लाख हठात कि कोन हला ना पेट्रोल प्राइस बढ़ी गला आपण 3 लाख टा बढ़ी के हे जाउची 3.5 3 लाख 50,000 हे जाउची नाउ दिस 50,000 is actually आपण सफर करिवे कोटु ना आपण को प्रॉफिट रो एटा आपण को एक्सपेंडिचर टा एक्सीड कर जाउची 50,000 कोठी एडजस्ट होबो ना आपण जतले जिंस बिकिबे प्रॉफिट हम करिवे 50,000 टा आपण को सेटी एडजस्ट होबो एमिति टर्म्स एंड कंडीशन रे आपण कोन करिवे ना एठी आपण ट्राई करिवे आपण को रॉ मटेरियल टा सेति की ही यूज करिवे कि सेति की मगेबे जेति की आपण को दरकार अछि सो एक्स्ट्रा मगेबे नी सो से हिसाब रे आपण कट डाउन इन करूचंदी कोथरे कट डाउन करचंदी आपण प्राइस ऑफ पेट्रोल रे कट डाउन करचंदी बुझियोची सो दिस इज व्हाट हमें वी कॉल्ड एज यू नो माइक्रो एनवायरनमेंट जोथरे कि आपण जेतेबेले सेटा वायोलेट करूची माइक्रो एनवायरनमेंट आपण को सपोर्ट करूनी आपण सेतेबेले माइक्रो एनवायरनमेंट को धीरे धीरे कंट्रोल करूचंदी एंड आई ऑलवेज से दैट माइक्रो एनवायरनमेंट इज समहाउ कंट्रोलेबल जोटा कि मैक्रो एनवायरनमेंट नहीं मैक्रो एनवायरनमेंट को आपण कंट्रोल करि परिबे नहीं पई जेमति कि गोटे पेटेंट एक्ट आसीगला कोनोसी भी प्रोडक्ट 5 वर्ष को थरे रिन्यू होबो आपण जदि पेटेंटाइज करूचंदी जोटा 20 वर्ष थला सरकार कमे 5 वर्ष कर देला आपण किछि करि परबेनी जदि आपण पेटेंटाइज करिचंदी आपण को प्रोडक्ट को 5 वर्ष रे थरे आपण रिन्यू करिवे एंड आपण पैसा जमा करिया को बाध्य बिकॉज़ बुझी पड़छो डिफरेंस टा यस बुझी पड़छो
आज्ञा मैडम.
Okay. Anything else? Anyone else wants to ask anything? No questions? So we will you know close down the class.
Yes,
Am I audible? Okay, thank you. Thank you, and we'll meet tomorrow at 8 a.m. କାଲି ପୁଣି ସକାଳେ 8ଟାରେ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ହବ। Thank you.